You probably pictured London as a sprawling metropolis of gray stone, Victorian brick, and steel skyscrapers. You imagine the orderly grid of the West End or the majestic dome of St. Paul's watching over the skyline. But erase that image entirely. The data suggests a completely different reality. In 1640, London was not a city of stone. It was a city of timber, a medieval labyrinth suffocating under its own rapid expansion. It was a place where the houses leaned in so close they blocked out the sun, where the noise was deafening, not from engines, but from the sheer density of humanity, and where the river was not just a view, but the primary highway of a global empire. But here is what is fascinating. This version of the city, this wooden wonder, is about to vanish forever. We are dropping you into the timeline just 26 years before the Great Fire incinerates everything you are about to see, and just 2 years before a civil war tears the country apart. This is the calm before the catastrophe. Let me show you the lost city that lies beneath the modern pavement. You're watching AI Go Back, seeing time reconstructed. We begin our journey on the water because in 1640, the Thames is the lifeblood of the city. Look at the chaos on the river. There are no embankments, no wide promenades. The water laps directly against the muddy backs of warehouses and wharves. The river is thick with traffic. Thousands of wherries, small water taxis, darting between the hulking shapes of merchant ships unloading wine from France and spices from the East Indies. The air here tastes of salt, tar, and rotting fish. But look ahead. That structure spanning the water is Old London Bridge. It looks nothing like the open bridges of today. It is a city within a city, a 19-arch gauntlet supporting a chaotic jumble of shops, houses, and even a chapel, all piled high upon the stone piers. As we move closer, notice the sensory overload. The roar of the water rushing between the narrow arches is deafening. Locals call it shooting the bridge, a dangerous rapid that claims lives every year. Look up at the southern gatehouse. Those dark shapes on the spikes aren't decorations. They are the severed heads of traitors, dipped in tar to preserve them as a grim warning to anyone entering the capital. This is the brutality hidden beneath the bustle. Crossing the bridge, you are enveloped in shadow. The buildings here are tall, leaning over the street, creating a tunnel-like effect. It's dark, crowded, and smells of leather and roasting meat from the shops lining the thoroughfare. You are walking on the only dry crossing over the Thames, a bottleneck of carts, cattle, and commuters that makes modern traffic look orderly. Stepping off the bridge and into the city proper, the first thing you notice is the verticality. Space is at a premium. To maximize square footage, builders use a technique called jettying, where each upper floor projects outward beyond the one below it.
By the time you look up to the third or fourth story, the houses on opposite sides of the street are nearly touching. This architecture creates a perpetual twilight at street level, trapping the smells of the city. And the smell is aggressive. There is no modern sewage system here. A kennel or open drain runs down the center of the cobblestones, carrying a slurry of household waste, animal dung, and rainwater toward the river. You have to watch your step. The sophisticated ladies and gentlemen you see picking their way through the muck are wearing pattens, raised wooden overshoes to keep their fine leather boots and hem of their gowns out of the filth. Turn the corner onto Cheapside, the city's main market street. This is the retail heart of 1640. It is wider here, a relief from the claustrophobic alleys. The noise changes from the dull roar of the river to the sharp, rhythmic clamor of commerce. Dolls are tossed to passers-by, advertising silk, gold, and spices. The visual detail is stunning. Painted signs hang from every storefront, swinging and creaking in the wind. There are no house numbers yet. You navigate by these symbols. The golden fleece, the 3 cranes, the king's head. The colors are vibrant, not the drab browns we often associate with history. The timber frames are whitewashed or painted ochre, contrasting with the dark oak beams. Now, dominate the skyline ahead. That is Old St. Paul's Cathedral. It looks strange to your modern eye because it lacks the famous dome we know today. Instead, it is a massive Gothic beast, longer and taller than the current cathedral, but it is in a state of disrepair. The central spire, once the tallest in Europe, was struck by lightning decades ago and never replaced, leaving a stump of a tower. But the real shock is inside. The nave of the cathedral serves as a public thoroughfare and a marketplace. Lawyers meet clients by the pillars, servants are hired, gossip is traded. It is loud, irreverent, and chaotic, a perfect microcosm of London itself, where the sacred and the profane are constantly rubbing shoulders. But beneath this vibrant commercial energy, there is a tension you can almost feel in the air. 1640 is a dangerous year. King Charles I is on the throne, but his grip is slipping. If you listen to the conversations in the taverns or read the pamphlets being furtively passed around in St. Paul's churchyard, you sense the anger. The king has ruled without parliament for 11 years, taxing the city heavily. The Scots have invaded the north. The rumors of popish plots and royal tyranny are whispering through these timber alleys. The people you see walking past you, the merchants in their broad-brimmed hats, the apprentices in their blue coats, are on the verge of a revolution. In just 2 years, these very streets will be barricaded with chains to stop the king's cavalry. The train bands, London's militia, are already drilling in the artillery gardens.
As the sun begins to set, the character of the city transforms again. London in 1640 has no streetlights. As the gloom descends, the city becomes a place of extreme contrast. Lanterns appear outside the wealthier houses, casting flickering pools of yellow light on the wet cobblestones, but the spaces between are pitch black. This is when the link boys appear, carrying torches to guide the wealthy home for a fee. The darkness is dangerous. Thieves and cutpurses operate in the shadows of the jettied buildings. The night watchmen patrol with their bells and lanterns, calling out the hour, but they are few and the city is vast. We end our tour looking east toward the Tower of London. In 1640, this isn't a tourist attraction. It is a menacing symbol of royal power, a prison, and an armory. Its white walls stand in stark contrast to the grime of the city. It reminds us that for all the commerce and life we have seen, this is a brutal age. Take a final look at this wooden skyline. Memorize the haphazard angles of the roofs, the forest of chimneys puffing coal smoke, the way the city feels organic, like it grew from the earth rather than being planned. This version of London is doomed. The Great Fire of 1666 is coming to wipe this map clean, burning down the cathedral, the bridge, and 80% of the homes we just walked past. The city will rise again in stone and brick, cleaner and more orderly, but it will never feel like this again. You have just walked through a ghost world, a vibrant, smelly, noisy, dangerous masterpiece of urban chaos that exists now only in data and memory. This was London on the brink of the modern world, unaware that its days were numbered.